Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we have this problem. It's called problem number 70, called climbing stairs. Basically, it's quite straightforward. You are climbing a staircase. It takes n steps to reach to the top. Each time we can either climb 1 or 2 steps. In how many distinct way you can climb at the top. So if we have 2, we can climb the top in 2 ways. We can go 1 by 1 or just 2 steps directly. If we have 3, we can take 3 steps. We can take 1, 1, 1, and 1, 2, or 2, 1. It depends like that. So it's a pretty straightforward problem. And the solution for this problem, we have 6 solutions with 6 videos. Okay, so in this solution, we'll start with the easiest one, which will be a true false. Which the true false, it will be we use a recursive function that returns the actual value. So how we can do that? So let's try to be quite fast with this one. And I guess this function it will be quite one of the functions that it will be easier for us to know how the recursion work and how recursive functions work. So let's create a function and function, which will be climbing stairs. I will call it recursive, and it will take, I guess, I, which will be the index, and n, which will be the number of stairs that we have, and I guess it will be the number of times that we can update it. So basically, I want to say if number 1, when you have a recursive function, you want to do or you want to know your base cases. This is one of the most important topics. So right now I want to know my base cases. So if I am climbing a stair, what are my base cases that I will stop the recursive function in it? So my recursive function will not run endlessly. So first, I guess if the index is bigger than n, okay. If I have n, it's 2, I will not bigger than 2. For example, no, not like that. If the index is bigger than n, because we try to know how many you can do, and we try in the n times range. So if I bigger than n, I will return 0, and now you will see why. Or if also n equals, if I equals to n, we return 1. And otherwise, we return the climb stair recursive 1 with I plus 1, and we put n in it with it, and we add to it the same thing, and I plus 2, and we add n with it. Okay, and if I bigger than n, we return 0, and now we call the function here with 0. We start from the 0 step and n. So what we're doing here, basically, it will be the position of the step that we are in. N is the full amount of steps. Okay, so in the first one here, we only counting if we went through 1. And in this one, we counting if we went through 2. And we call the function recursively. And we wait until we reach our base cases, and we end calling the function. It looks complicated. Let's just take an example. The best way to talk about any recursive function is just try to work through an example. So let's say that we have number 2, and the input will be 2. Okay, so we have 2 and n. So I will be here, I will be 0, because we start from the beginning. So I'm in the 0 step. So I'm saying that if I bigger than n, this is not right because I is 0. If I equals n, this is not right because I is not equals n. I is 0 and n is 2. So I will call this climb again. Let's just call the first one here. Okay, I will call this one again, and after calling this one, I'm saying I plus 1, so I will be equals 1. Okay, so we call this one. So we go back here. Okay, I'm saying if I bigger than n, this is not true. Or if I equals n, this is not true. So we call these two things again. But let's just start here. So basically, let's just remember, we have the recursive function. The first one who called the recursive function twice. We called one with 1 plus 1, and one again with 1 plus 2. And this one here, let's just add this color. And this one here is calling to this and this, and you just try to walk through them. Okay, I know recursive is really complicated, but just wait. So basically, I will call this again. We call this again. Okay, so we add I to 1. So here, and we call this again also I with 2. So basically, when you call this an I plus 2, which will be I plus 2 will be 3. So this will be 0. This will return 0. And when you call this one I plus 1, which I was 1, so this will return 1. Okay, so in the beginning of the recursive function, this turns 1. Okay, and this will be I plus, oh, sorry. And this, let's go to way more back. Like we finished the first one, and the first one has 2 levels. So we finished this one, and this one returns 1. And let's go to this one here, I plus 2. So I plus 2, let's just try to call it. So I is 0 plus 2, it will be 2 plus 2. So if the equals will return 1, so I have 1 plus 1, it equals 2. Let's take this one example. But this one will take too much time. Oh, but this one will take too much time. I know the recursive function is pretty tough things. So n equals 3 and the I equals 0. Okay, so first of all, let's say n equals 0 and I equals 0. So if I bigger than n, this is not right. If I equals to n, also this is not right, I is 0 and n 3. So let's just call the left side. Okay, so let's call the left side again. So I equals 1, and here we are in the second level. Okay, of we are in the second level right now, and we're calling the left side, and the left side is running right now. So we're saying that if I bigger than n, this is not right. If I equals n, this is not right. So let's go into the third level of the third level here in the left. So which will be here. We continue here and here. And we end the end level. It will be like, if you can see here, like in the recursion, first it goes 1 and 1 and 1. So this will return 1 and 1 and 2, and this will return 1 and 2. This will return 1, and this will return 1, and this will return 1. And after that, we will have this one, and this will return 1 also. So we have 3. So it's just all the time like that. And I know recursive, it's one of the most annoying and one of the most confusing questions that we can understand. But just take your time, walk through the n equals 2 example, and just to try to understand it. And all the upcoming problems, all the upcoming solutions will be also based on recursive. So I guess we will have a pretty good time with recursive in the upcoming videos also. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you guys in future problems.